Wexaki Amateur Radio Club, November 2024, club meeting.
Out of my area. So,
All right, time to get to work. Time to turn disorder into order. We are officially called to order. And we've got some new faces, and we've got a lot of old faces.
Really old faces.
Really old faces. So let's go around. Name.
no, sir. No.
If you have a call sign, give your call sign.
I think I left it up there. You did. I left it.
Name, call sign, and where you live.
Yes, sir.
Right up here.
Neil, WAMBC, Reed City area. Tom, WD8WIB Cadillac.
Keith, NAKRN, Higgins Lake.
Go ahead.
Kyle, nothing yet, Kevin.
That's all right. We're going to take care of that.
Mike, KF8, ECR, Cadillac.
Randy, KD8, AGI, McBain.
Dallas, KC8, KCW, Cadillac.
Steve, WQ8T, Cadillac in Downstate.
Jimmy, BJ8C, Cadillac.
Purcell, AC8 HJU, Cadillac.
Nothing yet. Bill from Cadillac.
Ken?
Over here now. Ken, WA8BES over Woodward Lake.
Bob, NABOB, Cadillac.
Tim, NADDA Cadillac.
Ray, KDA, BAI, just north of Cadillac.
Bill, N50ZL, Camp Cadillac.
NAJAB, Jeff and Cadillac. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Roy.
NAJB.
How are you?
Good to meet you.
Roy, KC8, GZG, Tustin.
Les, K8, LES, Cadillac.
Jordan, I came back. I'm still studying.
That's good. We're going to take care of that.
Yeah, Lee, KD8, UVN, Cadillac.
Randy, KC8 TXS, Cadillac.
Dave?
WD8LVZ. Rich. Lost
I
Land,
haven't
Clare
forgotten.
County. Rich, K8MFC Cadillac.
All right, great. Good group. And thank Lee for doing the cookies. He actually baked them.
Holy cow.
Well, you'll have to hear the whole story. And the coffee, and got things ready for the raffle, the 50-50, because Leah, I believe, had a procedure today up in Traverse City. So they're not here. Van and Leah are not here. And before we get started, you know, Jeff has been very helpful to me. Yeah, you, Jeff. He knows a lot about cars. And one time he was talking to me and he was saying, you know, it looks like you need new tires and I got a deal for you. He said, go rent the same model of your car, take it home, switch them out, take it back. It's the best $39.95 you've ever
You know
spent.
that's not true.
Hey, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that.
I'm gonna rent it in the name of Jeff.
All right, Brandy.
Nobody's recording that.
Oh, it's going straight to the authorities. All right, Brandy, let's hear the minutes.
Minutes of the October 3rd meeting. We did intros, meetings called to order. We read the minutes, they passed. We read the financials, they passed. There was a local estate that had some equipment for sale. See Bruce for details. Mars special event for 75 years. We don't know if we still need a December program, but even if we don't, save it for next year. We had the fall dinner at Berkey's. We chose net controls for 3 months. Gordy's working on the repeater. Dues are due, see Lee in an orderly fashion, not all at once. And we had a presentation on the myths of the SWR. Meeting was adjourned at 7:12 p.m.
Good program that was too. I enjoyed that.
Okay, motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Right here with Keith. Second, Jeff.
Yep, got it.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign? We did it again.
We did.
This is a group that gets things done. You want the second one up first, or this one?
Yeah, that one's all right. Doesn't matter.
All right.
And I got 3 of them, right? Okay. So anyway, the cookies. Leah asked me, she says, can you buy the cookies, because I won't be there, and then you can go to Meijer and get cookies and everything. Right? And then she says, well, we get them at Gordon. said, I said, I know you know how to make the coffee because you showed me how to do it. Well, she didn't say that, but I did. So anyway, so I go to Gordon's, and I couldn't find them, and then I saw this grumpy manager. I mean, he wasn't very helpful at all, because I asked him, I said, where are the cookies? Oh, they're over there in the freezer. We don't have them all, out on the shelves. I said, oh, okay. So I go over there, and right, in plain sight was a big box of cookies. So I nabbed them and went and paid, took off, and then I got home, and I called Leah, and I said, how many cookies do you make? Well, 30, 40 cookies, because there's 80 in the box. I said, well, they're frozen. I said, I'm going to have to bake them. She said, oh, I don't bake them. She says, if you go down below, the ones that are frozen, they have to be baked. There's ones that are already baked. So anyway, that's the story on the cookies. So I didn't mix the dough, but I baked the cookies. Okay, you did half the job.
Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome.
It's a good thing he didn't stop on the way to come to meeting to get those cookies, or you'd be eating frozen cookies right now.
Well, I could have sent them home with you, and you could have baked your own at home.
Yeah.
So, anyway, boy, this is awkward here. But, okay, so the dues, we'll just go with the total. I won't read everybody's off. Get $170 worth of dues. Income from the from the 50/50s, $15. Coax, $64 income for coax. And we only had one expense this time, was $23.70. So, read my computer tech.
That's a scary thought.
Let's see here.
And then you got the backup of Brandy, so. Oh, while he's switching, Rich was kind enough to take care of cookie detail. He's watching to make sure you pay for cookies.
I'm just watching so we don't steal them, right?
And make sure, and he's making sure the coffee's filled, and he was kind enough to do the 50/50. So, during the break, go ahead and pay him to buy, go ahead and buy tickets from
I
Rich.
just found out.
What are you going to do with the other 60 cookies you've got at home?
I made 40, I baked 40, the other 40 are in the freezer, and they're either going to be, I'm either going to sign up at church for cookies.
There you go, good idea.
Or, if, maybe I'll do them again here. So, one or the other.
Use them as Christmas cookies, Lee. Put
Yeah.
little sprinkles on.
There you go. They had different kinds, too. I picked the kind that I like. Sorry. Okay, here's our summary. Wow, what did I do? Look at that, this mouse is not my liking. What kind of mouse is that anyway? It's a crooked mouse.
Oh, no.
It's ergonomic, because I'm getting old.
Oh,
Try that, or you can use this.
yeah. Okay, I'll just be careful what I touch.
This is why we need more young people in the club.
Okay, well, as we talk, income, the only income we had was the dues, $170, the swap 15, coax 64, for a total of $249, and expense of $23.70. We started out with $2,639.64, and checkbook for the month was $2,864.94. Okay.
All I'm doing is giving a little advertisement. Our tech expert who's going to help us out, this is what she gave me. Have you ever seen a plug like that in like years? I think it's 8 pins or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could have brought the older one.
Yeah, it looks like the back of my MT-81.
At least it's
I got one of those.
two and not serious.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. 2023. 2020. Okay. Well, okay, we have our balance in 2023 at this time was $4,136.26. The balance that we have in our checkbook right now, well, is $2,864.94. So the difference is $1,271. So, but we have, you know, we bought the repeater for, or the transceiver for the tower. That was $600 and some, and we've had some other expenses too. So that's the difference. That's why we're kind of learning. But I think we're kind of at a plateau. Here's, I didn't print. I just kind of looked at this before I came. I'm going to try to make it. I mean, I know I can do it. Make a summary so through the year we know exactly where we're at. But through the year, these are kind of the expenses that we have. We have phone at $300 roughly, insurance $700, our website is $500, the tower is $660 for a total expense of $2,060. And I counted up the number of members, and we have roughly about 90 members. Might be a little less because some haven't paid their dues in a couple years, so we have to do a little correction to our rule. But anyway, so if you take 90 times 15, you get $1,350. So if we didn't have the Ham Fest, we'd be $710 short for the year. And more than that, because we normally help with food and stuff for the SWAT. I know it. Out there at Rich, it's the field day.
Oh, field day.
Field day and our picnic.
And our picnic.
Yeah, I'll get it. So, we really need the swap. The swap is what keeps us healthy. I just thought you might be interested in that. Any questions on anything?
Motion to
Can I
approve?
make a comment?
Yes.
Yeah.
If we didn't have the swap, we wouldn't be able to do anything.
Oh, we'd be dead in the
It's
water.
always been our big money
It's
maker.
our only real big source of income. Motion to approve? Les?
Second.
Dave is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, Lee. You're doing a great job.
I had to poke you about the cookies. I said, I had to poke you about the cookies.
All right. President's report. I got a few things here. Dues are due at the end of December. A lot of you paid tonight. Just make sure you pay those up. It's not our major source of income, but it does help. Reminder, and it happened again tonight, the club sells coax. You save money because you don't pay shipping. And you can get custom cut length. You don't have to buy 100 feet or 50 feet.
And it's good quality coax.
It is, and NAPOB is the person to see if you want that. And this came up again tonight. A reminder, the club owns an antenna launcher. I used it just last week with Larry Joy. Yeah, and it works really well. If you want to use it, let me know. I'm the keeper of it. I don't have to be. It might be better if somebody in town. And so if anybody wants to volunteer to basically be the keeper of the shooter, the advantage is you can go out and shoot stuff without anybody getting in trouble. All right.
Yeah, but you're good at it, so you always volunteer to help, right?
Yeah, it's fun shooting stuff. Nobody gets hurt.
Better than a wrench.
You remember that. Gordy can't be here because, well, he's got family in, but this is some good news he wanted me to report to you. His daughter, Ann, got a new kidney Monday, and she's doing well. It's going really well, and he was amazed because the donor had no relationship with her. Can you imagine just a perfect stranger saying, here, have a kidney? I don't know if I could do that, but that was really cool. So, but she's doing well, and he's got family coming in to kind of, so that's why he's not here. But he said he needs Shack of the Month pictures. And he said somebody sent him an HT and an antenna. That's a shack. You know, you got to start somewhere. So it's kind of fun to see what everybody's doing. So send that to Gordy. December meeting topic. Gordy's going to present tools for the Ham's tool bag with a special focus on connectors, different types of connectors and how to attach them to your various cables.
That's cool.
January 2 meeting is the ugliest project contest. And it doesn't have to be something just home brew that you got out of your junk box, order a kit, put it together. There's still time. I'll even allow restoration projects, maybe you restored a radio or something. Something where you used your hands to do something for ham radio. So there's that. Also, Kids Talk to Santa update. I just learned a couple days ago that Bill, W8FFG, will once again be Santa. And if you heard Bill last year, you'd have sworn it was really Santa. He just did a great job. Next meeting we'll have some volunteer sheets for volunteers to show up. It's going to be December 24 from noon to 3 at the airport. And Ken, give us an update on, this guy's full of ideas, so share this
I don't
with
know if it's a great idea or not. Last year we passed out little cards to kids, and it probably didn't mean a whole lot to them. But this year, I was thinking, what do kids like to do, like to color at that age? So we've come up with like a certificate, and we would give them a pack of 4 crayons. You can get them really cheap on Amazon. Get these printed up at the print shop, and while they're waiting, they can color these. Or they can take them home and color them. So we'll have it so they can color on both sides and be something they can take home as a souvenir. And maybe in the future we could even do a coloring contest or whatever. But for this year, just
every year it gets a little better. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And even if you don't want to help out with the microphone or something, you ought to come out and just see those kids' eyes light up when they hear Santa, and they get to watch him because NORAD tracks Santa and the reindeer all the way from the North Pole, and I can tell you it's the real deal. It really is Santa. Some of you don't believe me. All right.
I believe.
Thank you. Open mic. Anybody that can say anything you want. Yes.
I won't go into the whole debacle of my microphones, but if anybody has a Linco mobile microphone that I could borrow or is for sale, I need one, otherwise I'm not going to be on the air much. So anyway.
Well, that reminds me of something else I was going to do. I've been cleaning house. This stuff is going to be going in the trash unless somebody takes any of it home tonight. Okay?
Maybe there's a microphone.
Warehouse.
Look at that, Brandon.
Is it in Lincoln?
Look at that.
Put it in your house.
How many?
What does it
I don't
fit?
know.
Well, this is for a Kenwood, the best radio made.
I don't know whether it'll.
Give it a try.
What kind of
Oh,
radio
no,
do you
this
have,
isn't
Randy?
right.
She's got an Linco.
This isn't the right one. I know, I can help.
We'll find you one.
My favorite technician might bring one back when he brings the radio back, but I don't know for sure. I also think he's going to charge me the fact that he's going to put my 10 meter back up and make me actually use it, so. We'll see.
All right. Some of you eBay sleuths, maybe look
Is that
for
your
a
dad?
Linco microphone. All right. Any other open mic? Anybody have anything else you want to add?
That one could probably be rewired to work with.
Maybe, but given that the radio
And
itself
Rich is good about with this.
I was going to say, will you volunteer yourself? or was
Given
it
that
Rich?
the radio is actually currently in Midland, I don't even have it to test with right now. Once I get it back, depending on whether or not the Midland group finds one too, or whether I need one here, or if I end up with a completely different radio out of his basement, I don't know. But I do believe that my 10 meter, or Tiffy's 10 meter, will get put back up and I'll be forced to use it as payment.
Kenwood, then you can't just let Mike.
No, I don't, or I'd let her use it, but yeah, that's fine. So, at our break, take some of this stuff and throw it in the trash for me. One last thing. Go ahead, Phil.
I'll take advantage here of Mike. Before Vicki and I headed south, you mentioned that Amazon has a good price on the Outback. And I looked at it, thought, ooh, $16. And I looked at this one, ooh, more power, more battery for $30. So I ordered it. And I didn't get a chance to use it while we were traveling. And I get back and I try to figure out how to program it and go to YouTube. Right? First 3 reviews that I said, they said, we're not even going to finish reviewing this thing because we put it on the spectrum analyzer and it has spurious emissions. The first, second, and third harmonics are way over. So I'm curious, does anyone have a spectrum analyzer could plug this into and see if maybe this one doesn't have that problem.
I think Gordy got
I'd like to get with someone and plug it in. and see.
Could you check that out, Roy?
Yeah, I'm gonna be traveling the next week or so. though.
That's all you do.
Likely, yeah.
Well,
I know, I do a lot of his own changes.
because we were sound for so long, the return window has expired.
Oh.
But they sent me a $2.15 refund.
Well, that's very generous. If you hear Gordy on the repeater, check with him. He would be able to help you out.
Cool.
I've got a portable one too, but the way it works is I'd only be able to get the first harmonic on 2 meters, but I can get the rest of them on 77 meters. It's kind of finicky little thing, but
And one of their gears said that on 440 band, you don't have that harmonic, it's 2 meter band.
yeah, I guess there's no restrictions.
What's that?
Check. Phil,
It's about 7 or 9.
Phil, during the break, connect with Mike here and see if he can work something out.
Randy,
Yes,
Amazon has a Linko microphone.
I know.
They're not very expensive, 27, 29.
I'm lazy. I ask here first.
We'll find.
Well, why don't you just say you're cheap like Tom, looking for something free?
I'm not looking for something.
Filter,
free. I'm
Bob,
looking
filter.
I'm
Filter.
I'm attempting to find out whether anybody's got a box that looks like that stuff that would eventually end up just being dumped in the garbage.
I'm
before-
trying to think, there was a club member that had an Alinco, but I can't remember who it is, so.
Like I said, I'm not even 100% sure that my radio will come back and I won't get the other one from the shelf.
For 2000,
EOA had a link.
that's right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if Sandy still got it. All right, well, one last thing before our break. We have one program lined up for 2025. That's February. So, we'll pass this around. I really am hoping to get some volunteers. Or if you don't volunteer, could you put topics that you're interested in? Fill this up so we can find ways to have programs. Otherwise, we're just gonna get together, eat cookies, and go home. So-
I'm still willing to run on a 5-time.
All right, well, you put,
I'll be here to.
yeah, the problem is you're all over the world, but we'll tie you down. So during the break, or pass it around, we'll take a break till about 7, and then we got a great program lined up.
You buy tickets, right?
Buy tickets, pay dues, come to. Oh, wait, hold, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
One more new business, and that's Keith, NAKRN, Airport Manager, is going to give us an update on the, hold on here, on this. No, that's not that. Did you send an email?
Yeah, I sent it today.
Yeah, why aren't I finding it? Hold on. Maybe I already put it in.
Always looking, remember to get your raffle tickets from Rick.
Here we go.
Coffee, Tim?
All right, update. This is kind of cool. Pay attention.
Okay, I'm trying to make this.
There we go. So a lot of you know, last year we applied for a grant from the Michigan Community Center grant through the Labor and Economic Opportunity Group down in Lansing. We asked for 2.5 million, we got 1 million. So that was something, and so we're still trying to execute on that. We've gone through this professional design and bidding services selection process, and we've selected an architect that's going to work with us on the design. This was in their proposal as a conceptual rendering of what the community center will look like. The intent is that it's an open-air pavilion, but it's hard to see here. These are bifold doors, so you can put the doors down, and it's a four-season meeting room, classroom inside. So what I'm hoping is that once this is all in place, that we'll be able to hold meetings in there. We can have the different types of activities that we've been talking about, where we have a day of the year, learn about amateur radio. We could maybe do a summer camp in there. But the key thing that I really want input on is, you don't have to do it tonight, but if you notice over here, there's kind of a closed-in area. We're going to have 2 bathrooms, a storage room for all the tables and the chairs, so that when we're not using them, they can be put away. And there's one other room that we're going to have, and that room is a communications room. It'll be designed specifically to house people with radios in there, because one of the things we want to do with this building is to become an alternate incident command center and auxiliary communications for the county when need be. Now, I talked to Randy and some of the people over in the county. A lot of their equipment is on trailers and it's very portable. They can take it to where they want. But if it was a true emergency, I would like to see that we have a room that has communications for everything. So you have GMRS and all the different types of communications that might be used in the community during an emergency type of situation. And since the room would be there, we could use it for a lot of club functions too, whatever we want to do if we had a separate type of room for communications. Now, Ray is involved heavily with the Civil Air Patrol, and they have different types of communications, so they want to use this facility for that type of activity also. So it'll be kind of a multi-purpose communications room, but hopefully it'll be a way that we start integrating all the different ways of communicating in the county. So if you got any thoughts, yeah.
Is there a plan to put up a tower with it, or are you just going to attach all the antennas to the building?
Well, yeah, we got to figure out what we can do, because there's definitely going to be height restrictions on the towers. But we'll have antennas, obviously, but we won't be able to get them as high as what we'd like to have them.
Right.
But we'll have them something that would work. So any ideas you have about what you would like to see in the communications room? Now, the grant's not going to pay for any of the equipment, but I want to make sure when it's designed and built out that the room will facilitate whatever we think it'll be.
Well, also the ARRL has been giving grants up to $25,000 to clubs.
I looked at that, and I was going to apply for the last one that was due October 31st, but that was like up to $1,000, I think. Yeah. And then they do the $25,000 one annually. So we'll definitely, I want to put something in for that annual one to help with some of the different activities that we have with the kids that we're trying to do. We've got Gordy's equipment that we were able to get a grant for, and for the antenna, we still have more things that we need for it. We've got to have the rotor cables, the coax, and a laptop. So we still need some funding to build that whole thing out. But also for $25,000, we could maybe outfit this. And this could be a room that we use with any after-school program that we might establish with kids. That this would be a place to take them, and they can work with the radios.
Is the whole room going to get wired with an emergency power generator of some sort?
Eventually, we will. But we'll probably have to file for a grant through FEMA for the alternate power sourcing for the room. But that we want to design that in so we can build that capability.
So from us tonight, if you have any ideas what should go in there, see him over the break or email him during the week. Best email address is
manager wexfordcountyairport.com.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do anything tonight, because we won't get to that stage of where we actually are designing the room. But before the end of the year, we definitely will be at that point. So by the end of November, maybe I would say that we'd like to have those types of ideas.
what shortfall do you have? You said you had $1 million. What's the final cost, do you think, gonna be?
Well, when I priced it out initially, this shows 2 bays that are 50 by 50. We had a third bay, so it was gonna ultimately be 150 by 50. And that the hangar that we're in for Wings and Wheels, that hangar is roughly 50 by 50. So it's gonna be it would be 3 of those, because I was really designing it to hold 27 of the pop-up tents in U shape. But even if we have 18 of those pop-up tents for different activities here, that'd be good. So the initial cost was, from what I did, and I don't know what I'm doing, so it was $2.5 million to build it out.
So there's gonna be some additional fundraising.
Right, so what we told them is, one, look for areas where we could reduce costs, two, do things where if we get more money, we'll add it later. So maybe initially, we don't do the bifold doors, we don't have any doors. So it's just an open bay area. Those doors are, last I looked, they were roughly $60,000 a door. So that would
What kind
eat
of
up.
construction?
Pardon me?
What kind of construction, wood or metal?
Well, I don't know what they're gonna do. I told them that they can do whatever they think is appropriate, that's gonna be able to hold these types of doors. And,
Well, I was wondering if it was like a pole type construction.
well, what I told them is I don't want it to look like an oversized double wide or an abandoned rehabbed warehouse. And I also said I didn't want it to look like a youth hockey rink that just came off the truck. So I wanted it to look something like a cross between an aviation type hangar and a ski lodge. So that's what I told them at least, and so that's kind of where the path they're going down. I really was impressed with the rendering they came up with, as little as what I told them. So again, any thoughts, just pass it along my way, manager@wexfordcountyairport.com.
Very good, that's cool, I think that looks great. All right, take about a 5-minute break, buy some tickets from Rich, pay your dues, get a cookie, and take some of this stuff home.
4 bus.
All right, you guys ready?
You will.
First of all, we're going to this is a little advertisement.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. But there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, and up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in load computers.
How many had one of those?
What's that?
Close.
What, had what?
TRS-80.
No, I had a TRS-3. I had the one before that. They
Would
had
you-
had the 2 disk drives, no hard drive.
Was it a Trash 80 Model 3?
It was the first one.
Let's give
Model
our
1 was the first
secretary
one.
a welcome for doing a program for us. Come on.
Okay. I hope I'm yelling loud enough. It's been a while since I was in front of a classroom.
You sound good.
I'll get quieter just because. As you guys know, I've done desktop support, IT support in different places for going on 27 years professionally.
Wow.
But if you add college and the fact that everybody knows my dad was a COBOL programmer, I've been touching these things since I was probably 6.
Wow.
First computer I programmed was out of a book, was typing basic programs into a TRS-80 Model 1 that had 20 whole meg of hard drive space. The thing squeaked, and we always teased that there was a mouse inside running on a little wheel because that's what it did. That particular machine is still in existence, and the last time I knew it still turned on. I don't know whether it still squeaks, I didn't listen. Over time, obviously, the machines have changed quite a bit. One of the things that I've watched over the course of time is that all of these great new things have come out, and every great new thing makes the previous things obsolete, or does it? Whether or not the great new thing is the correct tool for the job is questionable. And how many times has somebody got that great new thing, but the task that you bought the tool for, then that piece of it doesn't work anymore, it doesn't work right. And it's sort of interesting to watch that cycle through. I think a good example is cell phones. Everybody had a cell because you wanted to talk to people. Well, then all of a sudden they decided that nobody needed a camera anymore. You were going to take pictures with that device. Now, all of the cell phones take great pictures, but don't always call the best. And is it now the same tool that it was, and is it the same tool for the job? And it's just interesting to see that.
Oh my goodness.
Is this stuff really old, or is it still the right tool for the job? I can't really answer that. I can say that I know when I used zip drives, they were great. It was awesome to be able to save that much stuff and not have to try to figure out how to spread it across 6 or 7 floppies. But you had to have extra equipment, and if the person you were sending it to didn't have a zip drive, it really wasn't that useful. So was it the correct next step, or is that why it went away? The next piece that I thought on the realm of computers is the idea that what we carry around, our phones, are not necessarily the grandchildren of the first computers, nor are the first computers the grandfathers or the precursors of the machines that we have now. One of the examples that I have a TRS-80 Model 100.
Oh, that's cool.
This thing actually has, four AA batteries in it. It does have power, and fortunately I didn't get the screen to come on. I'm sure it's just a loose wire from being carried around so much. And the fact that I don't turn them on nearly as often as I should. This device came with BASIC built into it. It also came with a database built into it, with an address book and miscellaneous other things like that there. So I should have grabbed it before I started, but you could also get a barcode reader. So if you were doing inventory in a store or such like that, you had that capability with this particular type of device. But with 4 lines of black and white text, this really isn't similar to a laptop you'd carry around today, even though it does some of the same tasks. It actually has more in common with a Palm Pilot. These, and I have this one with a serial connection to there, has the address book, has the database, has all of that same type of stuff that the Model 100 does in obviously a much smaller package. But nobody's going to say that that or this is the equivalent of the laptops that we use or that we carry around, even though it can do some of the same stuff. Those have more in common with these. And they just kept adding things to it, and what do they do? Is this still the right tool for whatever job it is? Maybe, maybe not. Does it make this obsolete? No, probably not. Because the things that you can do with the database and with the addresses and with all of that, still pretty useful. It's carry this around or a notebook and a pencil. And I'm pretty sure that, this, or this did not make a notebook and a pencil obsolete.
Yeah, amen.
At all. I also have a couple of these because everybody needs to carry around.
All right.
Desks.
I remember those.
I mean, and honestly, I took these off my desk at home because that's where they live.
IBM, baby.
So. The other thing too that I always thought was funny was how many people had computers back in the day, and those computers are actually more equivalent to, say, a PlayStation today than they actually are the computer or the PC. And the idea that you get a computer for, you build a computer for a task, and how many people over time said, hey, I found this great deal, it's only $29.99 for this machine that has a zillion pixel resolution and huge, and what are you going to do with it? Oh, my kids might do homework, and I'll get on the internet once in a while. Like, sure, spend the money. Or give me half the money, and I'll get you a machine that will do what you need, and I'll still save some. I don't get that quite as often anymore, but there were a lot of years where being the IT person in a business, you got those questions. So. Overall, were all the updates needed? Did they make tools better? It's a good question to ask. The worker still sometimes uses Win98 because nothing got updated, and that's the only thing that will run the application that you still need. Or the tech like me who pulls up the command prompt regularly and types, my favorite is ping. I use the command prompt and ping machines and IP addresses all day long. The easiest way to find out whether something is living out on a network somewhere. And sure, there's utilities that do it, but why wait for a window to open when you can just type into that? Or ask the ham who knows that a tube radio just sounds better. So, again, what's the right tool for the job? Does it mean that we update from this to something smaller? Yeah, probably, but does it always mean that that's the better thing? Going through your old equipment, making sure things turn on occasionally, just because, playing with it because it's fun or because it brings back memories or it's interesting. I think that's important to do. I also think it's important to remember where we came from. Remember that at one point in time, people had machines with 2 floppy drives and had to put the discs in, and it was one box to make it work. Or remember that at one point in time, if you didn't hear the, obviously I can whistle, you weren't online. Or making sure that somebody didn't pick up the phone when you were at 99.9% of your download. And those things. There's a lot of things, a lot of the devices that we use every day now came from that. Are they the better tool? Yeah. Questionable. If we don't remember where we came from, are we going to eventually not understand why it's better to have what we have, or why maybe running Win98 on a machine because that runs the device that you're running and it does it well and it's not complex and it doesn't freeze the machine? Because nobody's ever had a software program just stop or had that magic, did you restart it?
Yeah.
When you go to do that. So, question is, did it really make it better? Did it not? I don't know. I have lots of stuff because I love old computing stuff. I refuse to say crap, even though most of it is. I try to keep it running. I am not always successful, and I have collected some things just because I like playing a certain game that doesn't come on any other system.
Yep.
That's how I got my Mac. Do I like keeping older stuff going so that if I pull a floppy out of somewhere and I can find out what's on it? Yep, that's what I do. I also like walking into museums and saying, wait a minute, I'm not that old. Case in point, at the county museum here, they actually have a USB 3.5-inch floppy drive that's listed under old computer stuff. I shook my head, I have 3 of them in a drawer, at work, not even at home. And yes, they still get used.
Wow.
So. Okay, so my last slide is playtime, even though most of my stuff doesn't actually work the way it's supposed to. I do have my Mac turned on over there to see the screen. I do have a machine with XP on it, which isn't as old as I wanted. I wanted to put 311 on something,
Oh my gosh.
but that machine decided that the hard drive was dead and I didn't have time to replace it. So I will eventually get that going again because everybody needs to remember what XP looks like. And
For SE?
And for that matter, does anybody have any questions? I've done this for a long time. Yes, I lived through somebody calling in and asking why the cup holder was broken.
Did you ever do anything with CPM or anything like that?
Yes, but not in any way professionally.
Yeah.
When I was 15 and didn't have a car, 15, we had a CPM machine and my summer job was formatting 8-inch discs.
Wow,
I had a rather large box of them. It was stick it in the drive, type format, the CPM equivalent,
Yes,
and hitting enter,
CPM Z88.
reading 3 pages of my book, putting the next disc in,
That's cool.
and that. And then I do believe that the CPM library got resaved to those discs.
You can still find it online too.
Oh yeah, I'm honestly sure that those 8-inch discs that got saved to probably exist too.
Wow.
I will inherit them one day.
Wow, that's cool.
Any other questions?
Where do you store your photos that you're going to be able to find them 20 years from now?
Are you asking in general or where do I store stuff?
Do you take a lot of pictures?
I have a USB terabyte drive that I dump everything to occasionally. I actually got it as a Christmas present a couple of years ago, and it's nice to be able to just throw stuff on it. Some of that, you heard me say I'm lazy. Some of it is because I just haven't taken advantage of cloud storage and made a secondary backup. So I do make sure I plug that in occasionally and make sure I can still get to it, but that's what I do.
Are you comfortable storing all your personal stuff on cloud storage like that? I'm there.
I think it's a personal preference. I could say part of the reason I haven't is because I'm still a little leery of it, but I also know that that's the way things are going. I could say, is it the right tool? I don't know. Do I think that's the only place to store stuff? No.
Probably not, no.
No. I also don't personally like the pendulum swinging to all cloud-based things. Partially because once your network access goes away, you're SOL.
Yeah, amen to that.
And I think that some of local support and local hosted stuff gives you backup for that. I don't get to make those decisions though.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brandy.
Please feel free to touch. Not everything works the way it should.
Thank you.
All right,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
50-50 draw.
Get your tickets out.
Get your tickets. Hey, the last 3 digits, 885. 885.
Ray! All right, Ray!
Hey!
All right, the meeting's adjourned. Stick around and play with old computers. Get to know each other better. Come, there's still a piece of cable here.
You can't go in the
I mean, look at this. Look at that. Thanks, that was great. Perfect. It was really interesting. Man, you've...
Hey, anybody remember this?
What? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember, it won't work. Okay, no, it works.
Oh no, you scrape the stuff off the white on the inside.
But the thing about what
I didn't realize it. I was like, oh, it's just this. Wow.
Everybody needs a ball mouse.
I'll have to show you my, I keep nuts and bolts and screws in them now, but I'm gonna remove them. My dad was in Bendix in the early 1950s, and that's when they started. And I've got the big reel-to-reel plastic discs.
Oh, yep, I
It
did.
says IBM on them.
Yeah, but I actually didn't bring, I have, my decorations on my cube are, I got an 8-inch disc, I've got the CD, I've got a tape, I've got the 5 1/4, I've got the 3 1/2, I've got the reel-to-reel, I've got, the only thing I don't have in there is I have one of the big toilet seat sized.
Washed up?
No, I have one, I just don't have it at work.
Gotcha.
It's heavy and hard to lug around, which is why I
It was like reel-to-reel on recorders, and that's what they use.
Yeah, I have a toilet seat with a
Do you need one of those?
A reel-to-reel? No, I have
No,
one.
the big, I've got the case for it, but I don't.
No, I've got the whole disc.
You've got the whole disc
I've
with
got
the
a whole
case?
disc. Probably.
The unit was the size of a refrigerator.
Yep, and you
It had
opened it
two
up
drawers.
and in there.
Yes.
This mechanism.
Memory
They'd
lane.
come in and we'd have to fix it. Send it back out and they had those little discs.
Some kids go to work on the farm. I would go with my dad to the Bank of Lansing for the overnight conversions. And if they knew that the 10-year-old was putting the tapes on those reels and stringing it through, they probably wouldn't have liked it too much. But what do you do?
When you're talking about cold machines, I have an old Commodore 64 SX.
I don't have an SX. I've got 3 Commodores, I have a VIC-20, and I have a 128.
I can't find my VIC-20. The SX was one of I had that in college. I have to replace the drive. The drive's gone off.
Yeah, on my Mac over there, when I put it together this time, the mouse and the keyboard are goofy. But I do like the fact that it's portable.
It's an app bag.
It sure is.
With the officials.
My first exposure to
The end. Thank you for watching and attending.